Our next reader is a born and bred Chicagoan with a curiosity for weird synthy music, shiny clothes, crappy television, and snappy pieces of really, really good writing. This year she founded Inland, an online and print publication examining contemporary Midwest culture. She also writes for a variety of different publications and organizations, including Vice, where she is the Chicago contributor, WBEZ, Pitchfork, Complex, and Rookie. In 2012, the Reader named her the city's best local writer who excels at social media. She is a champion for the underdog and a proud black hippie. Give a warm Tuesday Funk welcome to Britt Julious.
You must think you're cute or something. That's the only way you'd look like this right now. This was one of my cousins. I don't, I said. I was 16, just turning into a woman. My body betrayed me, so I would take it back, first piece by piece, and then forcefully, without a moment of rest. My clothing was the first part I would start. That's right, you ain't cute, so what's this about, she asked. And then she began to grab at first my clothing, my cheap dress, the fabric, a mix of things, both flammable and not, and then my body, my arms lined with muscles and my legs much sturdier than I felt. Stop it, I said. Stop what? She asked. I'm just letting you know who you are, who you'll always be. And who am I replied. Nothing special, she said. I'm not special and neither are you. It's best to remember that, she seemed to be saying. A trick of the mind will fool folks before they get a chance to read you. And you see, someone told her she could not see greatness in herself. That's not her role, that's not where she rests. But who are all of these women finding divinity in their hearts and minds and skin and body? Who are these women who can look and feel and touch and taste and think, everything I sense is right and good. Everything about me is right and good. The body can tell so much, but it is the black woman's body that was born to tell everything. Skin is colored with history, curves are exaggerated and hypersexualized. There's also our noses, there are also our lips, too full, right? Sexual, not sensual, meant for the pleasure of others, inhabiting a purpose beyond the body of their owner and instead answering for the lust and lechery of others. There are the eyes, absorbing the world from a young age, quickly. My eyes were my greatest weapon, my defense against the sights before me. You learn to soak it in and process, but never too much. If my life was a series of processes, I would be nothing but a being of hate, a culmination of hate for others and hate for myself. No, you must see and then unsee. See and then shred, see and then sacrifice. You just don't feel like other people, a friend once said to me over the phone. I was waiting in the bitter cold of the late fall, waiting for the number 8 Halstead bus to transfer to the Blue Line. It was an early evening after work, but the sky had already begun to turn black. I still hate that moment when you realize things will only get colder. You have no control over what the season brings. You can only prepare mentally and pray that what comes next is not as brutal as it can be. I'm sorry, what? I asked. You don't understand what it's like. You're just bound up, too in control. You're not normal. I hung up on her. Control, you see, is my safety, my savior. It is what keeps me sane. I know what it is like to have no control. It is the moment in which the bottom drops. It is the feeling of loss and lost that no one deserves. It is a repetitious struggle. It is the world closing in on you. It is a taking of what is yours, your body, each limb claimed for someone else's, until there is nothing left but the soul and the shell. We see more of ourselves than anyone ever could. That is the myth of finding ourselves. We do not need to find ourselves. We already know who we are, but This is about finally coming to terms with ourselves, not necessarily accepting ourselves, but certainly seeing everything we have, the good and especially the bad, and knowing that what is written on our bodies will change little in the course of our lives. This is taking control, for from an early age, control is taken from us. Control, perhaps, is never allowed at all. But I keep coming back to this again and again, this conversation, unsure of why it's so significant now. You don't feel, she said, but also you are not normal. Your existence is not like us, not like me. But I knew the truth. Buried within me, buried within diary entries, spoken only on quiet late nights alone. I am everything good and bad. I am all parts, as all parts make me human. You may not see it, but it's there. I think, but also I act according to my gut, to emotion, to the push and pull of everyday life. Things happen to me and I react, not just in anger, but in frustration and fear and sadness. And so that control is there, but it is also a port in the storm. It is also years of pushing and pulling in the world and making decisions for myself. I am connected to other Black women, real or fictionalized, who exist as I exist, as complete beings worthy of love and praise and compassion. We are not the same, but we face similar things from the world, from this one world. Our connections are critical to our survival. Another friend once asked me, "Why do you care so much? You never cared before." And maybe that was true, but that was not the whole story. I did not know I needed to care before. I did not know that it would matter. That is what growing up has shown me. Youth shelters us from the realities of the world, but eventually we must make our way to 21 and 22 and 23. Sometimes you just forget about everything, and sometimes you just ask, where do I shatter this world as it has tried to shatter me? Where can I build it in my image? I am connected to women I admire and love, women who have changed me forever, women who will change the world forever. See, their lives are built on promises of who they should be and their massive attacks against those promises. If our bodies are made to be used and made to be broken and are different than everyone else's in the world, then these women are putting them back together, one moment at a time and in their own image. 2 Thursdays ago, I sat in section 340 of Soldier Field. I was there to celebrate the new queen, the queen bee, Beyonce. Around me were women and men of various ages and races. I sat alone, separated from my friends, but was pulled into a circle of Black women around me. "How long have you all been friends?" I asked. "Oh, we're not, we just met," said an early 20-something woman next to me. Everyone seemed to have only been able to purchase individual tickets. And so, rather than risk the chance of missing out on this concert, they decided to go anyway. We had all found each other and were united in our admiration of the woman before us. I used to think Beyonce was just a symbol of control, of perfection. That's why I admired her. And in some ways that is still true. But she is also a symbol of possibilities, of the multifaceted possibilities of how I can look and act and be as a woman. She is strong and weird, smart and divine. If these things are a matter of control, then so be it. She has created a world for herself, one in which she can be herself, one in which she is taking back herself from the world around her. On December 13th, 2013, she released her latest album, a self-titled work that was equally sensual and structured, salacious and sad. Released with no warning, it was a triumph, a moment of self-actualization, a woman defining herself. "Bow down," she said. "Bow down," she said. I am working on that. It is my favorite album. I am looking for others to just say, bow down. Thank you.